and then we can go from there.
Okay.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Q&A and Critique number 86. As far as I know, we are live here in the Let's Be for Artists edition community. We're doing a live stream digital art questions and answer event, and today's special guest is Manellopgar, or Manuel. So he's coming in from Spain, and so it's kind of late there at the moment, but we have a very interesting Geometry Nodes Toolkit to take a look at. And we're going to know more about Manuel later. Now after that, the other topics that we're going to take a look at today is a central question asked by I'm Kinda Drunk earlier this week about how can we improve creativity. And finally, at the end of the show, we're going to be taking a look at episode 7 and the development that I have been doing on that particular episode. And as always, like every week, we'll also be taking a look at finished art from the community here. And we're going to take a look at it with different people. So today's a little bit different, mainly because Discord now has a staged event, which means I can share my screen and talk. So the first half of the hour means we just have the guest on the stage. But then later half of the hour, if you would like to join the stage to talk live, feel free to raise your hand or I will invite you to the stage. And if not, I'll be keeping an eye out onto the comments, both on Twitch and YouTube, hopefully, and here on mostly Discord. So thanks everyone for connecting today. Let's begin. So how are you, Manu? How's everything?
Fine, very fine. I'm happy with being there.
With being here, excellent. Good. So I've already shared some questions with you at the beginning, and I wanted to break the ice, and I wanted to ask you, since it is Friday, what do you typically do on the weekend?
Normally, I rest a bit after the week work. And after I make some music, and then create new features, fix bugs of my tools, see some movies or something to relax.
Very nice. And I hear you make music too.
Yeah, this is another passion for me. Electronic music, I love it, as well as 3D.
Excellent. So where can I hear your music? I have not seen it yet.
I use another name, and I will give you a web link after this show, if you...
Whoa, sorry about the noise. Yes, I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, the sound of this alien egg is made by me as well.
Very nice. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'm looking forward to the audio. So now that we understand a little bit about what you do in the weekend, your weekends sound busier than the week. But
Yeah.
It's good. It's very productive. So what do you generally do as work or as hobbies? What's your background at the moment?
I generally work in a small company based in Barcelona, Spain, and I do commercial spots of stickers and trading cards, like Panini and more than one. I think everyone know. And after this, I make sometimes a little bit music too, or rest.
Very nice. Oh,
And
I know Panini. Panini is actually popular here in Colombia
yes.
too. They're like collectors' stickers that you find in ice blocks or blocks of chocolate.
Yeah.
That's
a
cool.
lot of soccer stickers and cards.
Sounds like a lot of work to me.
Yeah.
That's good. So, about your history in art, where did you start to? How did you start? How did you begin learning your motion graphics and art?
I started about 8 years ago with Maya, and at the same time I discovered Blender as well, but I use it casually. So I learned a lot of basic animation, modeling, rigging, effects, etc. And then I start working professionally with Cinema 4D. And the tool that I love the most was MoGraph. So this is why one of my tools was created.
It's really nice. Yes, because I wanted to ask you about that. You started with Maya and you worked in Cinema
Yeah,
4D for the MoGraph. So you created a tool set in Geometry Nodes to do motion graphics.
yeah,
Can you
yeah.
tell me
Because
why?
tell me.
Why did you do so?
I do because in my company we are migrate from Cinema 4D to Blender, and I miss a lot MoGraph. So I saw the new tool Geometry Nodes, and I start investigating and learning to recreate the tools of MoGraph
That's great.
in Blender.
Yes, I've been following you on Twitter for a couple of months
Yeah,
now, and every now and then you publish a little tool and a little showcase about how this works.
yeah. I currently do a video documentation of all new tools, so it's nice. Okay.
Good. So tell me more about this tool set that you created. I've loaded up here inside of Gumroad.
I have 3 toolkits. One is free and other is to pay. And the reason behind the first one, before the tools, is because I saw before I missed the MoGraph tools in Blender. And the other ones, one is the deformers, advanced deformers. And this is because I miss the formats from Cinema as well, which have a box to control the form. So I recreate in Blender as well. And the toolpack free is with all node groups that I have to create for my custom assets for my main job, main work.
That's very
So I create,
utilitarian. I like it.
yeah. When I finish to one big asset, I saw, wow, there are a lot of node groups. I think it will be util for people. So I share to free.
That's good. Yes, I've noticed that the 60 node pack is licensed
Yeah,
with a very open license, and it's also free. And your other pack, even though you've shared it on Gumroad, you've also shared it as a Creative Commons, which I think is
yeah.
very generous of you. I really appreciate that.
Because I love I like a lot the open source and the opportunity to have to modify it without problems of copyright and etc.
That's good. So let's take a closer look at this node pack.
Great.
I have it opened up here on my screen, if you're watching.
Yeah, I watching.
Yes,
Okay.
Kruger is asking, like, holy cow, it's a ring and a cone and a gritty cube and a cylinder and a gritty randomized cube and a pill and a number of different
Yeah,
things. That's
different
right.
things and some primitive plus there are some sliced options. So is the one difference between the normal primitives of Blender.
That's good. So let's take a look
So
at the first primitives we got. The
and
capsule
this
primitive.
capsule, yes,
Oh, good.
yes, it's well, it's simple, but I think it's can help something.
That's right.
Um,
We've got the primitive cone.
yeah, you can change the radius and slice option.
That slice option is very useful.
Yeah, you can create amazing things, I think.
Okay, we've got a custom cylinder.
I think it's
Depth. We're missing the depth.
that's it.
It was flat, and we got the slice as well. That's very good
That's
for
what I
motion
think.
graphics.
Yeah, as well.
And the torus with another slice as well.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Most
Handy. So what
handy.
I've also had a look that you've got a number of mesh tools which I thought were very good. So can you tell me more about these?
Yeah, the auto smooth is to set the auto smooth option in Blender normally, so you can use it quickly.
Quickly.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find it. If not, I'll search.
Search is better, I think.
See, auto smooth adds in the option of like changing the degrees of the smooth. Now this is useful.
You can. Yes, because sometimes you need to change. So
It's very nice.
yeah.
And we also have the other tools that, for example, we got duplicate BTW meshes. So what does this one do?
This one I like the most, I think. You can use two planes, for example, or two grids, one flat and another with noise displacement, and you can create some some meshes between the start and the final mesh. I
And mesh
think
start and mesh end. So for
yeah.
example, let's say, okay, so let me see if I can reproduce this. So I have a plane or a grid.
Yeah, duplicate. Okay.
Okay, so I duplicate it like this.
Yeah.
So in one of them, I can create this mesh here. This is called the MTK. What was it called?
Duplicate.
Duplicate meshes.
See.
So I got a mesh start.
And
I also have a mesh end. Whoops, let me just pin this.
Yeah.
And I can drag this object in like this. So this will be the mesh end.
Yes. And now you can subdivide one and add displacement, for example.
Okay. So like in the modifier stack, add a displacement.
I think it will be work. I'm not sure.
Nice. Doing something.
Yes, but no, that I want.
Hang on. It's because I have no texture.
Yeah.
So just throw an Amarita. Here we go.
Yeah.
And this mesh here probably needs like a subdivision, I suppose.
Yes, the same subdivision, I think.
Do a couple of them. Okay. So now that I have one mesh and another mesh, what happens? Okay, so I do 1 to the upper limit.
Yes. I try in Geometry Nodes normally, but I think here, not sure why it doesn't work well.
Maybe because of this.
Mm.
Offset upper.
Oh.
It's interesting.
Yes,
it kind of interpolates between duplicates between the meshes.
Interpolate, yeah.
Okay.
But
I can do as many as I want.
yeah.
Okay, now I understand.
Yeah.
Bottom from the top. This is kind of like the offset. It's interesting. Yeah. And change the distance. Okay, so what else have we got? Let's take a closer look. So we've got vector tools. I'm just going to do a quick summary. You got selection tools, float mix tools, UV mapping tools, which I find very interesting, spline tools, the mesh tools, which has a number of like things like solidify. It has the polytaxis, solidify advanced. You got an LOD system. You got a fake bevel system. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And we also have different plus transform, edge detection, time to shader, displacement mesh or system for displacement, a proxy viewport.
For example, the time to shader is because to create a fast attribute to send a shader editor. So you can do with this node quickly.
That's
the
very
other
cool.
one, yes.
Liz mentions that the phyllotaxis node is really cool. Well, where is that one? And we also have selection tools, we got sample tools, we got viewers, and the one that I really like is you have loop tools.
Oh, yeah.
So this is where something where your motion graphics becomes super useful, because here now you have some control of how to loop animation.
Yes, and now there are 3 of them with different gadgets. One based of sign, another I think is based of noise, and another is only range, I think. What is very useful. I use this in Aline, I think. Okay.
It seems like I have a problem with my stream at the moment.
Oh.
My Twitch is not picking up at the moment.
Okay, we can wait.
See what's going on. Yeah, there is no... In this case, it may be better to go to YouTube. Let me just confirm if YouTube is fine. If not, I will have to restart the stream. And it looks like YouTube is working fine. So I'll share the link.
Nice.
YouTube is streaming fine. So I will send the link. Continue work in YouTube. I'm not sure if I can restart Twitch. Let me see if I can. Restarting. Hopefully it works this time. Okay. So how do these loop tools work exactly?
You can select, you can change the speed, of course. You can select the first and the last frame of the loop. And for example, this, you can change the parameters of sign and noise.
That's really cool. Okay. And the looped animated noise is this is going to be interesting to use.
Yes, this has only to set the last frame of the loop, and everything I think works automatically.
Oh, that's amazing. I've also noticed you have these origin tools for like setting the origin of a mesh. For example, you're making a game asset and you want to set the origin to the bottom of a bounding box. It's nice and easy.
This is the idea behind of this came from After Effects, because After Effects has set origin point of any footage. So I think how I can do this in Geometry Nodes, so I made it.
Good. Man, I love your mentality. When you need something, you created it and then you shared it for free.
Yes. Yeah.
And you took inspiration from tools that already worked and have worked for you, and you've adapted it for the new open source alternatives.
Of course.
Another thing I noticed is you've also added a slightly different way of using instances. And I wanted to understand a bit more what's new and what's different with your scatter instances node compared to the default geometry nodes way.
This node is the quick and easy setup for scattering, because you can select between two options. I think the random and another one, I don't remember the name,
Poison.
but Poison.
Poisson, yeah.
And the other parameters are the same, exposed, simply exposed. So you can draw to node treat, and easy, you can set up the scatter, I think.
Very nice. So it's a time saver.
Yes, it's a time saver, these three
Good.
tools.
I also had a notice that you have some UV mapping nodes. So
Yeah.
could you give me a quick orientation of how to do this?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Right, so imagine I have, for example, the monkey.
Okay. Yeah.
Right, so I got the monkey, and I'm going to use the Smart Project node. How would I apply this to the monkey?
Okay. Like that, and now you can
make a texture.
First, you need to expose the store attribute and the UV mapping
into the group output.
Yes.
And then when I'm inside the shader, I have the texture.
Yes, and you can
and I call the attribute, correct?
The attribute, yes.
This would be geometry attribute.
Yes. The name is the same.
UV map, correct?
Yes.
And this would be a vector into the vector. And then I have triplanar, a smart UV unwrap done with geometry nodes.
Yeah. This is the same, more or less, that the function, that original function in Blender.
That's beautiful, but procedural.
Yes.
Which means I could do it with my procedural geometry. Oh, that's wonderful. That's really nice to know.
Yeah. I use a lot, I think.
That's so good. Well, I'm really glad you shared these notes. And the deform nose, which is for €5, is also quite good. I really liked how they worked.
Yeah. This is, I think, is the most self now.
Yeah, similar to ETK's node groups, I suppose.
Yes.
So these one thing that I haven't tried, which is your B4D tools.
Yes.
Can you tell me more about these tools? I don't have an example, but it would be nice to know.
These tools, they are the same. Bueno, pardon. Try to emulate, try to recreate the MoGraph tools. So now you have the 6 modes of cloner and 8 effectors like playing, random, delay, target, sound, and more of them. And you can, with 3 clicks, you can set up simply MoGraph setup in Blender, like Cinema 4D.
It's very nice. Sounds familiar. I also noticed that with this particular product that you made, you also have a system to add the effectors and the cloners directly from the viewport.
Yes, this is because I think one of the most features that I like more is in Cinema 4D is easy to set up any cloner and effector. So I try to do easier same in Blender.
Very nice.
So I use a lot attribute, store name attribute, and with this you can work. Even if you don't like or you don't know work Geometry Nodes editor. So
Good.
you can set up your animation easily.
That's good. I really like the idea of these effectors as well. That's kind of interesting how you're doing that.
And if you go down, you can see of special follows as well. So,
Really? Special follows, custom follows.
yes. With this, you can use a float curve. And these two options, you have to go to Nodes, Geometry Nodes Editor, but it's easy to set up. It's one node to change. So
Very cool. I like it. So with your tools, do you have some motion graphics that you've created with these tools that we can take a look at some examples?
I have, yeah, it's advertising is a good spot TV is a good example.
Good.
Okay, let's search one that I can share because on another ones I can't for now.
Yeah, that's the
Because I use
difficulty working
most,
in the industry is with all the
yes,
non-disclosure agreements.
yeah,
Sometimes you never
I
know
use,
what kind of a legend of an artist you're with until they tell you something secret.
yeah. But
Right.
yeah. I searching, okay, because I use a lot my tools in my main job. So normally I will have to do some examples in the future, but now I didn't have enough time. So
Yeah, it seems up to maintaining. So
yeah.
another question about your toolkit. You mentioned that you spend your time maintaining these tools. So with the Blender development and managing these tools, does it require a lot of effort to do?
Yes, this is the cars behind in the buildings has been made with this tool, for example.
Wow. And these are published to television?
Yes, it's the last Mundial Qatar of soccer.
Very nice. My sister is actually catching a flight to travel to Qatar tomorrow. She got a gig playing music in a hotel there for 6 months.
Great.
But the flight from here is 23 hours and a half.
What?
It's a very long flight.
With scales, I don't know.
It's a direct flight.
Okay. Amazing.
Yeah, it's. I didn't know there were planes that could take such a long flight, but apparently there are.
Yeah. And to maintain my tools, it's sometimes I have to on a day because new Blender comes out and you have to change some things because there's new system or new nodes. But I love to do it in my free time. So
Good, you enjoy it at the same time.
I enjoy it at the same time.
So Slink has asked a question to you, and he's asked, when it comes to updating your toolkit, do you stick to the LTS version of Blender, or do you also keep maintenance for the latest releases?
Because I don't have enough time, I use the latest version stable. Because I don't have more time, I have to do tests as well of my tools. So, for example, the last update I discovered only recording the video documentation, I discovered 15 bugs of my tool, and I have to fix all of them as soon as possible.
Oh, that sounds difficult. Lately, I've been thinking about creating a Geometry Nodes library for artists, but the maintenance would require quite a lot of upkeep, so I'm not sure. though I would love to. Maybe later.
Maybe.
I'm still learning
I
them.
I still learning as well because next week maybe new node comes out, so you have to keep an eye and check how it works.
So, yeah, that's true. It takes a little moment to understand the new node or if it's going to make things better or not. So, coming back to that, what is your workflow when it comes to developing a particular node group to get the job done? What's your process to develop the node group?
For someone with V4D tools, I use my experience with Cinema 4D as well. I read the manual, the documentation of MoGraph in Cinema 4D. So I learned some things that I didn't know before. And I have to recreate in Blender. Sometimes it's quite difficult, but yeah, I like it. And with other tools, I try to, sometimes I have to solve some problem. So I create another group and then I think, I think this is good for the MTK or for V4D.
Oh, very
And
good.
other times I read some website or YouTube channel and use this knowledge to create my custom version of this tool.
Very nice.
Okay.
I like it. There are still some things I'm learning is like, I've noticed you've got some good selection tools and some sample tools to
One
get the job
thing
done.
I miss in Geometry Nodes is, well, sometimes it's a bit frustrating to select in Geometry Nodes because now you have a spreadsheet but don't have interactive selection or something like this.
Yes.
So this is why I create these selection tools to help a bit this missed tool or missed options.
Okay. And how do you use these selection tools? I noticed that we get the booleans for the selection socket, which many nodes have, like the custom selection here. What do you use?
I use position and normal fields. So then I compare some of maths to change or create the parameters.
I also noticed there's this one little node called selection mesh volume, where you select
this is
a very good one.
You
could create a mesh for a selection and then that turns into a selection.
Yes. Sometimes I have to select some instance or some points in volume, in the bounding box, inside of the bounding box of the geometry. So I create this for this kind of tool. As well, I use this a bit advanced in the follow-up system of V4D tools.
Okay, let's see if I can make it work. So for example, I have this box and I want to extrude the faces inside the box. So inside of my monkey, what I could do is I can grab the box, I connect the box into the mesh here, and then I get the extrude node, which is going to extrude everybody. But then I just plug this into the selection, invert.
Okay.
Wait.
Wait.
There we go. I would have to put it has to be zeroed. The world space has to be zeroed. So if I invert it again, there we go. So where's my box? Here it is. Let's make it X-ray in front.
It's curious how you tried my tools. I didn't try it like this sometimes, but it works. So nice.
That's super useful there. Oh, crashed.
Oh, Blender.
Well, I'm using 3.6, so it's probably an issue with that.
Yeah,
But that's no problem. We'll just load it up
that's
again.
quite unstable, but
And we'll go back to the recovery file. We'll just load it up again.
yeah, I love this feature.
There it is. We lost the node tree, but that's okay.
Almost is.
But that's good. I like that node.
Yeah.
And we've also got some simple like quality of life things, for example, vector tools with a blend or a mix. You also got float mix tools where you can mix multiple floats in one single
I
node.
have a nice video. You can use this in a smartphone. I think I will try to find it because it's curious how you can use this. I made this, I think, playing. No, I think maybe I can save this for later. Okay.
All right, good.
I think. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, nope, nope, nope.
No worries. All right, so my next question that I have for you right now is about your current project at the moment. What are you working on, and what do you plan to be working on in the near future?
Now I work a lot on B4D tools and as well with the free option MTK. Okay. But mostly I want to finish the main things of B4D tools. I have to do, I think, 4 or 5 more effectors and some special follow-ups more, I think. And with this, I think will be finished, not, but almost. In the future, I will make another type of tools. I will make more videos about how to use my toolkits and some tutorials and quick and tips of my experience with Blender.
It sounds like you got a lot on your plate, so that's good.
Yes, I have a lot, but I don't have enough time.
Sounds like my life at the moment. I'm always struggling to keep up with my clients and just stick on to getting the work done. So, and eventually your body gets tired too, you know, sometimes you need some sleep and some food, and it takes time to sleep and it takes time to eat food, but you need it.
Yeah, of course.
Life is so short.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we've reached this half-hour point, I wanted to say thanks, Manu, for this interview. This pack is good. I'm actually looking forward to use it more inside of my toolkit. I've also
Perfect.
My only recommendation is with your asset library. Add some thumbnails. So, like for example, a thumbnail, a small little icon, or a capture of the node.
Okay, see, I have to in mind to do this. I think there are a lot of nodes, so I think maybe I add one option to pay €1 to have this more organized, I think, because it's time. So I think I think I will do this.
Good. Yeah, and for me, like I guess the quick and dirty is like just take a screen capture of the node, and then when you go inside
maybe
screenshots.
I will do it. Yes. I think in the next update.
Good.
Will be.
And there it is, nice and simple. So you can kind of see what the node does. A little bit of a visual recognizer.
Yeah. I know.
That's
sometimes good. I have to find myself. So yeah.
That's understandable. But I'm really appreciate your open source spirit. your problem-solving mind, and with that, also your work ethic, working with your clients, your personal work, your music, and all of the other things, which means not only are you an incredible problem solver, you're also very creative in multiple aspects and the way that you do this, which leads us into the next question. So since this is a new experimental Q&A, I would like to invite some people from the community to connect with their art if they want to talk or not. So we have I'm Kind of Drunk. We've got Kruger. Actually, I don't know which Kruger. We've got Nemo. And I'm Kind of Drunk is not here. Oh, yes, you're now online. And who's the real Kruger? Here we go, Sam. And so, hey, how's it going? So we've got a couple pieces of art. Standing Pad is not here today. And Slink has an animation. Oh, okay, so yeah, share your animation. I'll invite you up as well. There you go. So now that we've opened up the microphone, we've got some pieces of art, and I would love to have your opinion about these pieces. I've got a couple of pieces of my own, and the first one is done by Timon. So Timon has made this piece basically as after seeing a picture from a potential client, and he created this windmill farm with the ocean and a ship in the background there. So Nemo, if you want to come onto the microphone, let us know a little bit about this piece.
Can you hear?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, good. Actually, no. So this was the thing I created for my job, kind of after work. So I work at Amazon, and one of the things we have at the moment going on in the Netherlands is that Amazon's investing in a seaweed farm right amongst this wind farm. And they had an architectural render done by a company that I guess they hired to do this. And I was like, oh, well, this didn't look too complicated to replicate. So I replicated it at the end of my workday, basically. And that was really fun. But then I was like, okay, maybe I can do a bit more with this render. So I started experimenting with geometry nodes, actually. First time I actually did that. In order to randomly scatter around, not randomly scatter around, like to create a grid of the windmills and then randomly add rotation in such a way that they can also be animated. So both random rotation for each windmill, but also so that they all can be animated at exactly the same speed and looped. So yeah, that's actually been my project for the last 2 days, just rendering this animation and trying to get it to loop as well. Like the sea has to move and loop as well, and I completed that today. So that's going to go on a page for the Dutch Amazon sustainability initiative. I would say in a few days. Well, actually, that'll be next week. But yeah, that's been this little project.
That's very nice. I guess those animation loop node groups would have come in handy in this case.
They would indeed, yes.
All right.
I
A little
had
late.
to kind of do some tricks. I had to do some tricks, kind of just fade, like, because I think I used like a sine wave for the ocean there, and I just like use a phase shift there to kind of move it around a bit, and then I faded into another phase shift that kind of ends up at the same position. And I don't know. It wasn't a brilliant system, but it was a quick and easy solution.
Did the job.
Yeah.
All right. Nice. So,
So that's that.
thanks for sharing this, Nemo. Would you be open to feedback by Manu here
Of course. Anything you want to say?
I think when I saw this before, and I think the water, I see a lot the pattern of the noise. I think you need to work a bit, because now to see this like a desert but blue, I think you know.
I mean the repetitiveness of the waves. Yeah. Yeah, I
You
kind
need
of
to
tried to
break.
reduce that a bit.
You need
Yeah.
to break somewhere and make some small waves and more big or a little bit big waves to break this pattern. And the translucence, I think to have improved a bit as well, because even the reflection work, but I think it's a bit flat. I'm,
Ah, the
uh,
depth of the water, right.
yes, the depth of the water, I missed that thing.
I think what I tried to achieve there was like I tried to add some translucency and then it massively added onto the render time for some reason.
Yeah, that would.
Yeah.
With cycles is a it's a bit, a bit long.
Yeah.
to
No,
render.
it was a very short project, so I think it's very much a hacky solution. But yeah, I did actually try to kind of reduce the repetitiveness of the waves a bit. But
Yeah.
like a lot of my solutions ended up making a lot worse. So yeah, like I wanted to keep the single direction, especially when it's animated. It actually looks all right because all the waves are moving in the same direction as the windmills, and you kind of get this feeling that there's
Of the
actual
wind,
wind blowing.
right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and when I was playing around with like adding some randomization, the waves were kind of going in all directions,
Yes.
which like I didn't get to fine tune that too much. But yeah, that's definitely something that I would have improved as well.
Yeah, it's tricky breaking up the waves like that. Sometimes a static, maybe like a static noise on
Yeah.
the linear waves with a linear light mix could have broken it up a little bit so that some of them are forward, some of them are backward, some of them are larger, some of them are smaller, but they're all moving in the same direction.
Yeah.
Good work, though.
And another thing, I think you have the sky, and the sky is correct. But I think the water will have a little bit reflection of the sky, of the clouds. A little bit, a little bit.
I think there's a reflection of the clouds there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah.
maybe with the string I didn't see well. But okay, no
Yeah,
problem.
yeah, I see here now.
yeah.
All
Perfect.
right. Good feedback and good
Yeah, thank
share of
you.
the piece. So I'm kind of drunk is here as well. This is a piece that he did during the Blender Royale. I'm not sure what the prompt was, so you may have to explain it to us. So I'm kind of drunk if you're here. Tell me about your piece.
So, the challenge, a little bit of context for those who don't know Blender Royale. It's an exercise on a server created and hosted by Stephen Scott. And we receive a prompt and we do a full project from start to finish without using pre-made assets. And in total time, it was 45 minutes, including the render time. And the theme was lights. And I didn't want to go for light bulbs or a lamp. I wanted to explore lights in a different way. So my prompt is the smallest part of the image though. It's like the little neon sign and the bar feeling.
That's
And
good. I like the wine material that you managed to work in nice and quickly onto the glass.
Yeah, it's amazing with.
So I'm kind of drunk. Are you open to some feedback?
of course.
All right. So, Manuel, what do you think? How would you
Nice.
improve this piece?
I think I'm not sure, but I think the lighting is a bit dark of the wine. I think we put the lights more near of the camera to see a bit more, because now you can look more on the table than the wine, I think.
Yeah, I guess this is where you would have to if this was the table and this was in the background, whoops, on a tweak background here, get inside a camera. Let's make a quick camera. Move it over here, move it up into the camera mode. then we have, I guess we could say, the cup. Like this. Just extrude the face down. Give me a second. And set, extrude. And extrude again. Extrude out by normal. I feel like I'm doing the Blender Royale right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to file so you don't need to do all this work.
I'm in Eevee at the moment. So in this case, when you've got like the purple light in the background there, over here, I guess you could focus on lighting the hero asset in the light a little bit.
Yes.
So this is where things start to think, okay, so how are you going to light this room? So, whoops, that's, if we have the light in the club coming back from the back here, which is the pink color, you got to think of like, okay, so this is more or less kind of what you have, like this. But now when you work with your key lights and things like this, you can start to focus on bringing in more intention to the world or what you want to do. I can use a custom distance as well, and you can like, let me just put it to 1 meter and just bring it out just to that rim here and make it a bit stronger, and maybe to bring out the shape of the cup. Like, notice that I can't see on the right here, it's very dark gray. So because it's so dark gray, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out more rim lights, more sizes to the concept, so that I have a better like design of the shape or the silhouette of the actual cup. Another thing you can do to help it bring it out is like if the cup is in the shadow, you can create another light in the wall to the back there. Or you're like this, where you have a shape that's built around the cup, so that it kind of like splits it up and puts it out.
Oh, yeah.
And so you have a stronger shape. Or you could do the other way. You can move the light forward over the cup, so that the cup is in the light and the background is in the dark. So you can, it's like using 2 different techniques to bring out that cup.
Yeah.
So you can put it behind on the wall, so the cup's in the darkness with the room lights, which is nice and dramatic, very romantic. Interesting. Or you can put it in the front, it's kind of heroic and kind of theatrical.
This is my feedback is this.
There you go. But it's a good piece for the 45 minutes. You did really well. And lighting in 45 minutes is actually very difficult. So you did a good job for doing that.
Oh, and it was really dirty. I have like 5 spotlights pointing nowhere. So yeah, I could definitely work a little more on the light.
You can, con 3 lights, you can do it without more, I think.
Yeah.
Even with 1 sometimes, but with these 3, I think will be better.
And in general, you have the 1 key light and the little pink light in the back there, which is okay. It's just not being afraid to make some lights really strong and other areas nice and dark. Use the contrast. And we got a little update by Timon as well. He's shared his the original photograph with the render. Wait, what?
Wait. More bright?
The original render and your render. I actually like your one more.
That's the original one done by I think it was an architectural firm.
You did a much better job, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Actually, I'm sending you the animation as well. I have to upload it from my phone because it's actually from my work computer.
Kumarai has asked about the Blender Royale. So just to answer your question, the Blender Royale happens in Arundel's Discord server every Monday at 9 o'clock London time. in the evening, which is about 300 Eastern, 1500, Central Standard Time. So that's probably about 9 o'clock is maybe 2000 UTC, about the same time as this, more or less, as this session. So basically you connect in Arundel's Discord server, and down below, let me just quickly show you here. There's the BR voice chat, and you connect to the arena, and then everybody streams and competes there. Okay. So one last piece, Link, you have an animation that you've been working on, and I wanted to see if we could take a look and see if we can share.
Yes. It is just the lip syncing. I can't share the screen.
I hope. This is very experimental, so I'm not sure if you can or not.
I think no. I think it's not possible.
If not, no worries. The other piece is by Sam, who's actually... Oh, Sam had to disconnect. But he also created it. He's currently running a competition in his Discord server concerning making a galaxy. So he created this galaxy render
Nice.
for his community. He's also been working on tutorials, and he's also running his own Q&A concerning artists within his community, which is a lot about space art, which is very good. Spaceships and stars and things. So I highly recommend checking out his YouTube channel and his server. It's good fun there. Another piece that we had a look at is one of our regulars, which is not here at the moment, which is done by Standing Pad and Mr. Crusader.
Oh.
So Standing Pad has finished his lighting documentation, and he's shared that here in the server as a PDF and on his website as well. So you can check his work out. And concerning Kruger's, oh, he's writing. Not sure if it's the original Kruger though. And another video that we've had a look at is
I know that.
Yeah, exactly. And the other piece that we have is done by Mr. Crusader, which has been here in the interview earlier as well.
Yeah.
We created a Star Wars tribute with some laser shots, which, with some sound design, which has been a lot of fun. So since they're not here today, I guess we can shy on the feedback, and we start with one last topic, which is a question asked by I'm Kinda Drunk. So since you're here, I'm Kinda Drunk, would you like to expand on your question about how do you be creative? And let's see if we can ask about this a bit.
Sure. The thing is, I've been struggling a lot with like unproductiveness, so not being able to sorry, I got a terrible headache right now.
Yeah, me too. I have a bit of a headache too.
The last project that I did actually was another Blender Royale that my girlfriend, that was when she was alive, she helped me to do it. And then I kind of shied away. I got some traumatic events in my life, so creativity, it's not my best skill right now. And I wanted to learn how to work around with it because, for instance, you guys have like real clients, so you don't get to choose when you can be creative or not. So you got to rely on technique. Like, luck is for the amateurs. The rest of you guys just wake up and do the hard work. But it was more into exploring practical techniques onto creating a creative, safe space for you to navigate around.
All right. That's a good question. So this one's for you, Manuel. Like, with your clients and your hard work and the things that you do with your music and stuff, how do you improve your creativity?
I tried, I have some playlist of music for creativity image, photos, some video games as well. So I try to, when I don't have any idea how to make something on a new project, I try to go that playlist and see what some stuff there, and inspires me more times to do something. So I think this is the one thing I do a lot. Another times I see some tutorials, randoms or videos, and try to make or to give me, try to see something interesting and try to recreate or create something based of this stuff. Okay.
I like that. For me personally, my sense of creativity is a similar routine as yours in that regard. What other thing do you do as well? You mentioned Or?
I watch a lot of series, especially in anime, because I love. So sometimes I saw some playing or shot, and I think this will be doable in Blender, and with this I start a project. So or I save for later. So this is another option.
That's good. For me, I told you this earlier. I'm kind of drunk as well when we were in that call. For me, like similar to what Manu does, is I often consume content to get ideas. A bit like I'm eating.
Yeah.
But another thing that you gotta keep in mind as well is like sometimes creativity requires time and a bit of focus, and sometimes the basic needs are the important things. So I understand. Say that again.
Another thing you can do is make a small piece with a time schedule with 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour. I have to do something, and sometimes with this time short schedule, you can do things what normally you work without this. So I think you can give you curious results or different.
That's true, because sometimes if you're worried about your life, like what am I gonna eat?
Yes.
Am I feeling tired, or an issue as my friend? Am I worried about my friend, or do I need a job, or do I need to pay the bills? These types of basic needs need to be taken care of so that you have some time. Sometimes when you have the stress of trying to be creative and you're worried about your next meal, sometimes you got to focus on the priorities to be okay to get on.
Yes.
And to the creative aspect of making time. But once you've covered your basics, then you can start thinking about your consumption of content and your inspiration of what inspires you, the know-how, the experimentation, the exploration of different ideas, and then from there you can start to get a general inspiration to do something. After that, it becomes a little bit more about research and finding ways of how to do things, similar to how you're talking about using tutorials and things like that.
Actually, I'd like to say that you shouldn't set too high a standard for yourself. If you find that you've got this kind of wall that you're working, that you're like this big uphill you're trying to climb as far as finding motivation, sometimes it's better to just doodle and like set the bar really low for the content that you're creating, and kind of just really try to get to terms what is it that you really like about creating art, and then using that as your basis for kind of finding a foothold again for that motivation.
Yeah, that's also very
Yeah.
true. It's like you don't have to be productive to be creative. You don't have to
True.
push yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you don't feel like pushing yourself, don't. Like just
Yeah.
kind of find your comfort zone, find what you like to do, and yeah, do that.
Yeah, there's also another things like changing your activity. That's another thing. Like sometimes creativity comes from energy and inspiration and desire to make something. So when you're tired and you're doing, sometimes you need like social rest and a psychological rest. And sometimes that's like going to visit somebody that you like to hang out with, go to something different, that's do some physical exercise, or even like during this time I was like drawing a doodle while I was teaching an English class. I created a little character which I really liked. I thought, it was just a random doodle that I did while I was teaching online. But just changing your environment or cleaning up your room, or just sometimes that change of mind also gives you the ability to find that rest, to give you the what you need to create. So one thing is not stressing yourself out. Like you need to have your basic needs covered, which is your food, your sleep, your time, your rest, your
Exactly.
peace. Once you've covered your basic needs of feeling physically okay, then it's much easier to be creative.
Yeah.
So maybe extending the Maslow's hierarchy.
Yeah, Maslow's pyramid of basic needs, exactly. Pretty much.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it for today. I think I do have a client meeting coming up, and it has now been 1 hour and 7 minutes. So
Okay.
if you want to use Manu's add-ons, go visit his Gumroad at Manellopgar with double L, .gumroad.com. Check out his products, check out the free node groups, get some things going. And I will see you guys next week, same time, same place. And also, Slink, I'm going to just quickly watch your video before we go. Hang on, let me download it and take a closer look. This is a lip sync test.
Oh my God, that means I'm all
You got
still Benny. You saw your innocent. Oh my God, that means
So you've got halfway. Nice work.
Yeah.
So it's coming on nicely.
Nice.
Lip
Link, did you
syncing.
do it or did you use an add-on or a base rig or something?
Yes, I did use an add-on. It's a character from the very much popular game Team Fortress 2.
Mhm.
And people out there are like, GigaChess and do like these TF2 to Blender rigs for free. I thank them.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
There are many ways to do lip sync. I found there are, I think, 2 add-ons that does lip sync. There's also a software Papagayo, which does lip sync detection for 2D animation. And then you can also use the technique of using animation clips, or build the lip sync into the rig, or you can do it manually.
Yeah, I'm doing it manually.
Well, that's good. It's going to take longer.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, the rig has like the TF2 rig is based on shape keys, so every facial expression is like its shape key. So just animating sliders left to right, looking which mouth shape is the right one, animating the tongue also.
Oh, with poses, the pose library.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Very nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, somewhat.
Marty shared a link about that, about how to use lip syncing, automatic lip syncing with another software called Rhubarb. And apparently Papagayo is no longer available. Or but
Oh.
rhubarb is a good alternative. And he also shared a video in the chat about how to switch from Source Filmmaker to Blender. So thank you, everyone. Thanks, Marty. And thank you, Manuel, for everything you have shared today, especially with your
Thank
node
you
group.
so much. It was an honor to be part of this.
Excellent. And I can't wait to see what you do with your future updates. And thank you,
Thank you.
Kind of Drunk, Nemo, and Slink, and everyone else who shared their art in the community.
Right.
So I'll see you next Friday, same time, same place. And we'll see who we interview next week. So have a good day and a great weekend.